Hi, I'm Ems, aka on Deck and Wings. This is a step-by-step video in which I'll be painting hivefleetleviathan on this Tyranid. I primed it in white, and the base I painted in a separate video which I'll link in the description below. So I'm starting off with Xerius purple mixed with black in a 50-50 mix, and this will be going on to the carapace areas. Essentially this is like an off-black purple colour. I usually just add a dash of water when I'm putting down my base colours, but you could also use some Lamium medium or contrast medium. I usually mix together something I create myself, which is a 50-50 mix of a glaze medium and a matte medium. So these are the areas I've covered in that black purple colour. After that I'm grabbing the corn red. So I'm using this paint to pick out the weapons. So basically anything with the organic weapon areas I'm picking out in this corn red. With this being another base layer, you just want to add a dash of water or your medium of choice. I think Tyranids are a very cool species. I think they're very menacing looking and there's some really fantastic different colour schemes for them. I obviously can't paint Tyranids, however you want to pronounce them, without mentioning one of my favourite movies of all time, Starship Troopers. So here the areas are covered in red, so the weapons, the tongue, and also those sort of hoof type things at the bottom. So next up is this Scream of Pink, and we're going to be thinning this down to a wash consistency. You could also use a Caribou Crimson instead, or just any pinky deep red colour. You can thin down the Scream of Pink with the Lamium medium, a glazed medium as well if you want to, or simply just add a lot of water. I'm washing this all over the areas I've left white. Going back to Starship Troopers, I definitely think the book and the movie had an impact on Warhammer 40,000. So that Scream of Pink has been washed all over the white areas. After this I created a wash, and this will be going over the weapon areas and the hooves. And I made this myself with black and red, and I thinned this down. Again, you just want a lot of water if you're following along, or you could use a Lamium medium or a glazed medium instead. This is in a 50-50 mix, so it's this very deep red off black colour, and I think it looks great over reds. After this I grabbed an ivory from Pro Acrylics. Screaming Skull or an equivalent bone colour, very light bone colour will do here. So I'm tidying up those areas I washed with Scream of Pink, but I'm still making sure that some of that Scream of Pink is still showing through. So you might want to thin your paints down to a more of a glazed consistency here. By this I mean thin down more than you would do a base layer, but not as thin as a wash. After I was happy with this, I went in with some Cadian flesh. You can just pick whatever equivalent flesh colour that you want to, a Caucasian flesh colour. I'm just painting a few areas in this colour. Please consider liking this video, and if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. So the flesh areas are finished, and you can always go back over with a flesh wash if you wanted to into those recesses, which I have done, so a Reichland flesh wash or a Gilman flesh wash, thin down. Next up, I'm getting a Cadian flesh down and a corn red. So it's going to be more of a 70-30 mix, so more flesh tone than corn red, or you could just use the Cadian flesh on its own if you wanted to at this stage if you are following along. And this colour will be applied to the weapons and also the hooves. So just picking out the edges. After After this, I grab some Xerius purple. And I'm going back over the carapace areas. So mainly over the edges and also some areas on top of that, but making sure that dark black purple colour is still showing through. So after that, I grab this purple. You could easily just get the previous purple and add some white to it if you wanted to instead. I'm going back over the carapace, so the edges, and also I'm going to be making some markings on the carapace. A trick I find with edge highlighting like this, for better control, don't use too much water. You want that same almost opaque consistency you have when you put down a base layer of paint. And I'm just making some quite neat strokes here along the back of the carapace to give it some flavour, and this is kind of how you would see it on the box art too. And here are the highlights done. After that, grab a yellow, doesn't really matter which one, but a warm yellow will be great. An Anvilin Sunset here, and I'm going to be painting the eyes and a couple other areas. So here are the parts I painted in yellow. And here is the miniature finished off. As always, thank you for watching. Remember to enjoy your hobbies for yourself. Respect the people who enjoy them in their own ways. At the end of the day, they're just war dollies. I'll see you in the next one.